Hey guys, welcome to Game 3. Game 3? AyeMeng versus Arcs. And AyeMeng in a very difficult situation. Wow, mental game already from Arcs. Good luck, you'll need it. He's starting as the pink protoss, bottom left-hand corner. Upper right-hand corner, AyeMeng starting as the red protoss. Amazon on the verge of defeat here. AyeMeng just brushing it off, trying to keep it light. This is Xel Caverns. AyeMeng going up against Arcs, aka Yinding Jai. And I hope I pronounced that correctly. I apologize if I did not. Speaking of apologies for mispronouncing, I guess it's misspelling this instance, all of Facebook, I apologize. I think it was 2 or 3 days I had Facebook spelled as Facebook on YouTube. Apologies. Pylon being placed, so it does not look like we're going to see cheese from Arc right off the bat, but an early scout from AyeMeng, just wanting to make sure. That is going to that's going to put him a little bit behind economically, and I'm not sure that this probe was really necessary, considering this is a 2-player map, first of all. And ooh, is this part of your plan, Arc's calling? I like that. On the pause, looks like there was a bit of interruption here and there. This is Xel Caverns, of course. You need to have a huge base infantry grouping before you could really even think about taking your natural expansion. I suppose you could think about it, but not successfully. Try to visualize it, it just fall apart in your hands. Natural expansion is one of the widest open of any map. Takes probably, what, 9 force fields? Maybe even 10? Because of the back corridor. Basically, you have 3 points of entrance. So sentries just have their work cut out for them out here. There is a destructible rock, so that's a theoretical entrance as well. Not really one that's going to be utilized just because so many better options. Assimilator gateway pylon. Probe now scouting for Arcs a little bit later. Same build on the opposite side, but keep in mind Arcs is going to be just slightly ahead consistently because of that probe that moved out early for AyeMeng. And I really love Xel Caverns, even, ooh, and a lot of probes being pulled off. That's going to what was that, 4? I think it might have even been 5. That's actually going to hurt his economy, and all that for just 5 shield too. Zealot being chrono boosted out. Looks like for AyeMeng, he wants to try to get that scout out of there. No chrono boost on the opposite side for Arcs. So on top of that, he's going to be getting out additional probes. Cybernetics core being morphed in. It looks like he hasn't saved any of his energy for the warp gate upgrade either, though. And it looks like AyeMeng has, so he might be able to sneak an advantage there. The Zealot going to be able to get some damage. He's going to be able to kill the probe here. 8 health left! But it looks like it is going to be able to jog away and get some distance. There's the chrono boost on the warp gate research. Stalker being morphed as well. AyeMeng wants that probe out of here and in a hurry. In the meantime, AyeMeng doing a good job of scouting. Looks like now some chrono boost a little bit later. No chrono boost on that Stalker though, so it does have an opportunity to glean information for a bit longer period of time if it doesn't die to this Zealot. 8 health as well. Stalker, wow, good timing. Stalker is going to be able to kill that probe to the north, but it is going to see a second assimilator from AyeMeng. So definitely, perhaps thinking higher tech, more gas-based units. Maybe in robotics facility, that's probably likely. 2-3 gateways additionally, so looks like we are going to see a 4-gate build from Arc in the meantime. Stalker moving up, it has that 1 kill. Needs to be very careful. Stalker plus Zealot, and it is just going to engage flatline, needs to back off. And looking at AyeMeng, it looks like he saw 2 of those gateways inside of this base. That's Arc's vision. Let's do it this way. So saw 2 of those gateways, but did not see the additional 4th. So 4 gate versus 3 gate plus a robo from AyeMeng. And it looks like that Stalker is going to back out. There's a protective Zealot. Is there going to be a second Stalker to provide some additional defense? It looks like there is, in fact. Do not overextend, Stalker. Looks like he's going to back off, re-engage, trying to do some damage. Now that Stalker in trouble, being chased down. But AyeMeng having a little bit of difficulty with that control. Still no warp gate upgrade on these additional gateways, pouring out a few additional Stalkers here and there. Robotics facility is up, and this is where you could really use an Immortal. Yes, gone Immortal first. He's going to be in a fantastic position. Oh, yes! AyeMeng scouts the probe, denying the quick 4-gate. As you can see, the gateway's warping in. There's no probe nearby, and this is that timing that Arcs really wanted. And actually missing a pylon as well. To warp that pylon forward, AyeMeng, if he can scoot out, currently he is in the dark. He's got a good amount of stalkers out. He is going to have that immortal out and plenty of time to defend against this. But let's see if he's going to be able to wander out and see this coming. If he can continue to deny that pylon, it will be absolutely fantastic. All of these rushes depend on having that pylon in an open field, and it looks like he did see a bunch of stalkers grouping up at that second Xel watchtower. And Ark's actually backing off this attack, it looks like. So opening up 4 gate, perhaps realizing the opportunity is in fact gone. No, there's the pylon. Warping at the forward position. Still plenty of stalkers and a second immortal. Great army for AyeMeng to deal with this stalker attack. And if Arx loses a lot of these stalkers, he's going to end up basically being behind for a large portion of this match. Single sentry moving up with this, perhaps to force field that ramp and cut off reinforcements should AyeMeng shift too far down at this stage, now that he is not actually taking position down the ramp. Single zealot pushing forward to scout. There's the immortals being revealed. Sentry is not picked off. There's a force field to provide some retreat action for Ark, but he's not going to be able to hold that for very long. Backing up, needs to get his economy rolling and in a hurry. There's that nexus. He still needs to worry, however, about a counterattack from Meng. Meng getting a third immortal out is not showing any indication of slowing down, and he might go for an attack of his own. And without a lot of defense, keep in mind again, wide open natural expansion. Having to deal with all of those immortals, it could get deadly. Let's see if AyeMeng actually goes and plays a little bit more passive on this match, or if he pushes out once this third immortal joins his fleet. Third immortal out. He is in fact going to traverse and expand behind this. He can in fact get away with doing both at once. This could force a cancellation from Ark because he cannot hold this natural expansion with the troop composition he has currently. Yes, zealots do a lot of damage, but they don't do enough. He is going to have some indication this attack is incoming though. Robotics facility about 3/4 finished. Still no immortals though in any of this composition. Zealots flooding that southern edge. AyeMeng can kite that very efficiently, and he's holding up. Looks like he's going to wait for more troops to move, actually waiting for his probe. Now starting to march his way forward. A little bit of a lag stalker there. I do like the probe in that bottom right hand corner, checking to see if AyeMeng looped all the way around. There is the forward pylon. AyeMeng diving along that right hand side. Probe sees it. No sentry though, and not enough sentries even if there were. Zealots trying to move in. They are slow. AyeMeng still has to micro this against these zealots because these zealots get on top of this attack. Ooh, miss microing there, because if the zealots can get on top of those stalkers, they will tear through this. And it looks like AyeMeng going to be able to hold this just because, or sorry, Ark's going to be able to hold this just because AyeMeng having a great deal of difficulty microing this attack. Warping in some zealots now. If he can get those zealots in front, could ease that up. Probes starting to transfer. Immortals out in front. Stalkers with some great concavity. Zealots on top of the immortals, pinning that immortal back, so one immortal down. And the zealots still not taking a lot of damage. Again, AyeMeng having great difficulty microing this, and the zealots actually winning out just through their pure bull rush ability. Stalkers continuing to engage, and it looks like Arx is in fact going to be able to take this natural expansion and hold it through pure zealot and nice corridor positioning. 2 additional sentries moving out. So AyeMeng is going to have to really think about re-engaging, because those now that he has those sentries to provide some additional force fields, he could really, really, really hurt AyeMeng by splitting this army in half and pinning it to the ground. Robotics bay for AyeMeng looks like also, ooh, I like that. Observer going to scout that high ground, going to be able to pick off a lot of this. Zealots moving out, but this is soft ground. They may not want to engage. It looks like he's just trying to posture and bait some troops out. Not able to do so though. Going to lose another pylon. That's going to slow his economy down a little bit. Still ahead overall, but he's floating a lot of minerals. 36 harvesters though for Arx, just winning the macro battle. But oh, that robotics bay unpowered and vulnerable. And Robotech is everything PvP. The troops moving out. They want to engage on this corner while that troop is pinned. And not with the... Oh, no good concavity here. Force fields on that retreat. One immortal might... Actually, both immortals might get picked off. Looks like one at the very least. The other is going to retreat all the way back to the main. But 3 stalkers left at an extremely exposed natural expansion. Re-engaging though. AyeMeng lost, looks like... Saved 1 immortal, I should say. Lost 2 in that engagement. Is behind economically. Significantly. Is now starting to saturate this natural expansion. But really the critical thing, Thermal Lance upgrade. And some Colossi chrono boosting out. And still no Robo for Arcs at all, but he is going to use this macro advantage, plant a ton of additional gateways, a Twilight Council. He's just throwing down all sorts of tech. If he can just raw produce units here, he still might be able to win this. If he can hit before that second or third Colossi is fielded, because that'll be really the trick. AyeMeng, in the meantime, wanting to build his own economy, feels like he has a decent grip on map control after killing that Robo. Taking down that Destructible Rocks. Don't see any probes moving that direction to take control, though. Single Stalker going to try to maintain control over this Xel'Naga Watchtower. It's going to be completely crushed by a large amount of Stalkers to do so. I like that he's not dedicating all of his army, though. Just the Stalkers. That could be kind of a micro mistake, though. All sorts of gateways up now for Arcs. Twilight Council silent. He does have a Robotics Bay, but no... I'm sorry, yeah, he's a Robotics Bay, but he does not have the Robotics Facility. Thermal Lance upgrade finishing. One Colossi already out in the field. Second Colossi almost finished. And once he has that double Colossi count, it's going to get really difficult because those Zealots are going to be just kebabs. It's really what it comes down to. Templar Archives from Arcs, deciding to try to switch it up and go more Templar Archon heavy, also getting Zealot leg charge. So going to try to play to his strengths here. He knows he has a superior Zealot count. Maybe with Zealot charge he can get it done, but if AyeMeng positions those Colossi well, he's going to be able to annihilate these armies in open field. Unfortunately, only a single Colossi moving out to engage this troop. Needs that second Colossi. It looks like it is kind of trailing here. AyeMeng a little bit in the red. He's not too far behind in supply, but he's still significantly down in the flat harvester count. Fortunately for him, he is going to be able to take this additional base well before Arcs can. Or, well, never mind. Arcs is just going to go take that base. Just going to wander out and take it. AyeMeng still, with those Colossi, he should really force this attack. Especially along this edge, because he can just march those Colossi up and down, do a considerable amount of damage. Particularly with that Thermal Lance upgrade. And positioning. Zealot leg charge just finishing, though. I don't see that third Colossus joining. It looks like a Colossus production for whatever reason. Oh, I guess it was the supply blockage there. Second Robo out for Meng. He's going to continue to press that tech advantage. Third base just now being produced. That fourth base is up for AyeMeng. This is a great opportunity for him to catch up economically. Posturing in the middle of the map. But this is a lot of troops, and that's a lot of Archons. 2 Archons, 1 Immortal, 11 Sentries, or sorry, 11 Stalkers, 3 Sentries, but keep in mind 16 Zealots, all of them with leg charge. If they can somehow dodge and weave between that Colossi fire, they could be the differentiating factor in that match. But if those Zealots get annihilated by those Colossi, which is extremely likely, we could see this game very quickly go to AyeMeng. Warp Gate's currently silent. AyeMeng thinking about pressing forward, having trouble keeping his army together. Looks like just hunting down a single Zealot to the north there. Zealot somehow sneaking through. Man, that took a lot of damage. He is going to wander up, scout that base. Let's see if there's a probe hero that kills him with just that 1 health. Come on, turn. Attack! Attack probes! No! There. Hero probe. Cannon warps in. Still, that's Zealot with his last bit of health. Spits at AyeMeng. 4 Archons at the natural expansion. Arc starting to saturate that bottom right-hand base. Still, actually, he's fallen behind now in the overall harvester count. The income, all of a sudden, in AyeMeng's favor. He has a better army composition, in my opinion. He has a even supply count. Just about. Arc's filling that rapidly, though. Looking for AyeMeng to force the engagement. Now that he has 3 Colossi out. Or is he just going to go for that additional gold expansion? Huge amount of sentries gathering up to join this force. Keep in mind they're not going to be all that effective. Archon's massive units can knock down that shield very easily. Weapons 1 now finishing. It's going to make those Colossi even more effective. And AyeMeng looks like he's posturing forward. He does have the forward pylon warping in. Let's see once that pylon finishes if he throws in that attack. 4 Colossi out in the field for him. Sorry, 5 out in the field for him. 1 is back in his base, however, and you're going to see more join that fray probably shortly. This is going to be the distinguishing moment here. Will Arcs be able to move out and establish position at his gold base to take an economic lead, or will AyeMeng just destroy this army right here? Here's the engagement. No force fields yet. No Guardian Shield. There's Guardian Shield. Good force field to blockade, but you can see those Archons taking them down very rapidly. The Colossi looks like they've completely whittled through that Zealot army, and that was the bulk of Ark's army. Ark's with that AyeMeng with that level 1 weapon advantage. Looks like he's just chewing through this, though. No, very few Archons left. It looks like that is it for the Archons and those Colossi. Still standing and just pounding away at this army in the background. Arc down to 87 supply. Gold expansion denied. AyeMeng can now continue to that natural expansion or just back off, take his own gold expansion. He's in a great position now. AyeMeng not looking pretty, and on top of that, looks like he supplanted, well, he reinforced this army with a lot of Zealots, and that is not going to get it done against all of these Colossi. Actually, 5 Colossi. Looks like that's finally joining the fray. High Templar warping in to get more Archons out in the field. I don't think this is going to get it done for Arcs, though. Maybe with the Psystorm and some luck, but not just with the flat Archons against this composition. AyeMeng now diving in, 171 supply advantage. Natural expansion extremely exposed. Zealots moving forward, being walled off and eating Colossi fire. Archons, or actually Zealot's going to loop around, but wow, they're eating damage in the meantime. Still able to get on top of those Colossi somehow. But they are not going to last long now that those Stalkers are involved. Oof, Ark's trying to re-engage, but Zealot's right on top of him. He does not have the troops to accomplish it. Despite the confidence, despite the trash talk early, AyeMeng takes the game and keeps Amazon alive. It's going to force a Game 4. AyeMeng pushing the ramp, pinning all those troops on top with some offensive force fields. And now he can march right on in with those Colossi, just assaulting AyeMeng's base. There's GG from Arcs. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Moving on to Game 4. Thanks for listening.